The more you try to keep me down and keep my head above the water, you can never hold me down. The more you try to block me out, that's where I kick the wall down. You can never hold me back. The more you try to put me out, the more I'll be blazing, it's too hot. The more you try to put me in the dirt, increase my work, the expert. You see the hunger in the eyes of a survivor. Swallowed my pride, washed down with some saliva. Reinvented my whole life, mental MacGyver. One door shut, another open up wider. Listen, battle drums in the distance, moving with enough force like army tank pistons. Pray for the strength of Jah to fight resistance. Fight mode, shields up, moving with resilience.
The strength of 1,000 lion and the strength of 1,000 giant. Please stay strong. Please stay strong. With the strength of 1,000 elephant and the strength of 1,000 tiger, we stay strong. We stay strong.
Hey everybody, it's Casey with Pinecase. We're hanging out this freaking smoking hot ass Tuesday evening with Billy Long. Like, I just got to get a couple pleasantries out of the way. Hello, darling. Welcome back.
Hey, hello, and thanks for having me again.
Yes,
Super
yes.
stoked.
Man, listen. Okay, so I was editing some things. I put a couple of things up, and then today I was like, I'm gonna go back and highlight a part of our conversation and just like put it out there. And then I got like lost in it again, and I was like, oh my gosh, the one thing that kept coming up in the middle of all these edits was me being like, I'm so stoked right now. My cheeks are like glowing right now. I'm gonna leave this conversation, and it doesn't even really matter what I do because I'm just gonna enjoy it. And I was like, what the heck? This is amazing. Like I had to go back and watch the conversation. So thank you so much for not only kind of like hard pivoting me back into some appreciation, but just bringing the vibe for everybody over here at Pinecase. You're just a welcomed whole vibe of a human being. And with open arms, open doors, food's in the kitchen, drinks are on ice, like always. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills over here. You're making me blush. No, the pleasure and the honor is all mine, honestly. And like just to be back here with such a cool cat and beautiful soul inside and out. It's again, super, super honored and super blessed and very much appreciate you. So, and nothing but love and respect. So yeah, stoked to be here. And even I'm a pretty smiley guy, but even mine was like grabbing another gear and I'm like, okay, all right, we got more. Cool.
Yes. Okay. So before we kind of, blew over a couple of really important topics, you gave us some information, but I want to go back and just lay the foundation so people know exactly what we're talking about when it comes to Love Evolve and everything that you're involved in. Because you guys have been practicing and putting things into process here for a little while. So can you take us kind of back to the fundamentals with this amazing project?
Yeah, for sure. So Electric Blue Communications, and I'm the VP of Energy Innovation and Transformation. So it's been about a 2-year journey now for our CEO, founder, Marcy Dean, which again, she is an absolute legend. She was going on this process for about a year kind of on her own. She actually had one of her soulmates pass away who died trying to save his son on Father's Day, who basically said, if I pass, I'm going to communicate with you through music. And, it kind of didn't make sense at the time, but as she kind of progressed and started getting into it, started following the breadcrumbs and the trails and started making music and dialing more into the frequencies, we started like tapping into like some like proprietary and intuitively engineered frequencies by like she was layering them through, and she came through with this revolutionary discovery. And it was about a year later that she actually basically like headhunted me and a few other of our team members through a conscious coaching challenge that we were taking with Aaron Dottie and Victor Otto. And she's like, I need you. Like, you got the vibes, you radiate positivity, I love what you're all about. And she slowly started building us together and building the team. And basically Electric Blue Communications is our umbrella, where we'll be running our own kind of LLCs and bringing people on board and practitioners and stuff like that. And Love Evolve Music is basically the infusion, where it's more of like the music and the healing frequencies. And so, two kind of separate entities, but working in unison together. And yeah, it's crazy because I've been a part of this journey with them for about 8 months now, but it feels like it's been years and years and years, and I've never felt more at home and a part of such an amazing team of individuals who are just like so strong and passionate and skilled in all their own areas. But when we come together, it's like this super Spirit Avengers team. It's like so cool. And what I was once doing alone and trying to uplift and heal and transform and elevate the world, and it seemed like such an impossible mission, is very possible and much more manageable with a team behind me that loves me unconditionally, supports me unconditionally, pushes me. And yeah, it's blissful. It's a magical thing, and I'm again just honored to be a part of the team. And we've been grinding and doing that warrior thing hard behind the scenes, and we've been starting to blast out a little bit more on the social media, and getting the music and the frequencies to people, and building up testimonials, and working on business plans and pitch decks, and cultivating basically our tip of the spear, so that when we bust out to the public, it's just like we're soaring, we're flying. And not only that, but we have an army full of people and community and like-minded folks who are ready to come with us. And through the universal language of music and vibrations and frequencies, which we know since the beginning of times, and since we've been banging sticks and stones together, it's huge. And whatever you believe in, God, creator, source, whatever have you, we're all a part of it. And we're creating something bigger. And the way I see it, if there's one of us struggling on this planet, which there are multiple, we're all struggling together. So why not, uplift and win and strive and champ together? So that's what we're all about. And we want to rise together, we want to shine together. And we know that life is much more than what's going on here, and society's trying to like bring us in and weigh us down, and have us down more at those lower vibrations. And we're not about that. I mean, yeah, sure, deal, heal, wheel, but move on and move through as fast as you can. I mean, things get heavy, and they don't have to be heavy when you have a support system and a great crew of people and community there helping you and uplift you along the way. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what he said. Oh my goodness. Yes, exactly. It's, you know what, right out the gate when you were saying like once we all came together, it's that feeling of well, we're creatures of habit, right? But as soon as we feel like we're not the only person with that same idea, like I know bringing Calico even just near me, I was just like, it validated what I was doing. And not that we need outside validation, but it certainly helps when you're like, okay, we got this. Maybe we're not crazy, right? Like, okay, maybe we're headed in the right direction. And then everyone starts putting into the pot, and you start seeing it come together. And it's such an amazing but unique thing, because it's so specific to like each individual group of people. So I'm super excited that that's how you guys, that was your experience together,
we'll
coming
call it
together.
the divine timing, divine
Mhm.
alignment, and just like, yeah, it's straight up real life magic. I say it a lot because it is, and I'm so blessed, and I'm shouting out to you guys right now. I know they're watching and always cheer me on. Like, love you guys so much, and yeah, love, love, love. And yeah, it's sweet because what I was trying to do for most of my life, it was like very lottie dotty, not so organized, and they've been able to bring me back down to like a ground level of like, yes, you can still have all this like 5D and dream and manifest the best, but and you know what I mean? There's like the realistic, logistic, proper, professional, like how do we present this to the world, critiquing me in the best kind of areas. And we all hold each other accountable so that we can grow, so that we can bloom. And it's, you know, Marcy and all of them. I could pump up all their tires all day. They're all so amazing. But Marcy's got like 20 years of like corporate experience. She was like the lead designer at Amazon and IBM, and she brings that like badass boss queen energy to it. And you know what I mean? She rounded us together and helped us step into our leadership position so that we can build this and grow together. And it's amazing because what I was like, I had a big idea and a vision and a goal, and I was going towards it, but I was kind of shooting aimlessly without like a specific purpose. Whereas now, together as a team, we've got that so dialed in where we're actually able to hit people where it counts, with the healing and resetting the nervous system and dialing that in through the frequencies, through music, through something everybody loves, everybody needs. and we can't ever have enough good music, you know what I mean? And these things have been bouncing around the planet. Now, with her help, we've just been able to like dial that in and figure out, oh, this works for the brain, this works for PTSDs, this one will help with your physical and your mental. And yeah, I'm still in awe. I just get more excited and just blown away every single day. So yeah, we're just trying to bring people back to remember who they are. You know what I mean? I think we got dropped down here, and it's like, are you gonna play on easy mode, hard mode, and legendary mode? And I think we picked legendary mode, and we've been moving through it like warriors. So
Yes, yes, yes. You know what? It's amazing. They say in psychology that human expression is like the most consistent thing amongst us. And I think like right in that same conversation is absolutely music. From the beginning of time, it was something that is web, and it all looked different, but there was so much still the same. And so to be able to capitalize on that and actually utilize it in a way that we've forgotten, obviously, along the way, is it's revolutionary in a really prehistoric sort of way. It's like, why did it take us so long to get back to basics? But you guys have used quite a bit of technology, though, right? Getting to this point, like you guys were using like EEGs and things like that to kind of like narrow in, like really specifically. Can you tell me a little bit about that part of it?
yeah, for sure. So again, I can only take so much credit. The
Mhm.
Marcy again has been pioneering the way and helping us be a part of it essentially, and striding in the own way in our own ways that we want to take, which again, mine is more of like the PR and the voice of the
Mhm.
company. But basically we've been working with doctors and the Monroe Institute and neurodivergent people, and people who specialize in those areas of professionalism. And it's yeah, because we knew that we were feeling it, and we had testimonials of people that were like, yes, this definitely helped me. I'm getting grounded, I'm getting like the healing that I need, I'm growing. But it was like, okay, so now from here, not everybody's going to be like, okay, right? They want the proof. People want the proof in the pudding, you know what I mean? So she was able to link up with a lady who actually had the EEGs and was able to hook it up to actually see and prove that yes, these things are firing in the brain, and this is happening, and synapses are moving. Because yeah, it's super important for us to be able to have this, not just for ourselves, to have the knowledge and the information, but for the public, for people that we're potentially going to partner with or collaborate in the future. And it's just another part of the masterpiece, I guess, putting it together so that we got our shit together. We do have something revolutionary, and here it is, and here's the proof. Like, you can't argue with it if it's right there in your face, right? So it's just another one of those things that we've been building up over the last 8 or 9 months. Again, Marcy's been on this journey for about 2 years. I'm so proud of her. I can only just try to like wrap my brain around, being alone and going through all this to where we're at now. But we've already come astronomical miles, and it's amazing. So yeah.
I don't feel like I have to ask you if you realize like how profound this is for people. PTSD is something that you brought up a few moments ago, and it is I don't want to say historically associated with the vets, right? But that's always kind of been the long and short of that conversation. And now that we've navigated all the tides that happen after the OxyContin epidemic, which is now rolled into the fentanyl epidemic and all of those pieces, and the trauma and drama that came with COVID, and all of these horrendous things that we've experienced, or challenging things that we've experienced, we're realizing now that PTSD is not just specific to war. It's not just specific to maybe these kind of explosions of scenarios, but can very much happen in your home, right? They can happen from spousal abuse. They can happen from undiagnosed, unsupported child abuse that you've tucked way down and haven't coped with properly, and all of these things. And so it sounds like an extreme therapy, but then when you think about how every day these situations are, to have something that's so accessible is amazing. It's not massively invasive to people. It's not, it's this really essential step before all these other kind of, I don't want to say big bad things, but therapy hasn't always had the greatest testimonials. Like it just hasn't. We've come a long way, but I think we're still headed in the right, we're still headed a long way. And so to see and witness and be a part of something that's that's easy on mankind and so palatable for mankind. Like, I just don't know if I need to tell you how absolutely important this is. And so I just, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you, Marcy.
no,
Thank you, crew. Like,
yeah, right. No, and I agree with you. And I'm just in awe too. And I've always been an outside the box thinker, beer, doer, pretty wild, feel kind of manic some days, like I'm losing my marbles, but I think I'm like gaining more marbles than I'm losing. So I mean that's gotta be a win. But essentially that's what we're wanting to do. And we're wanting to change the way people look at medicine and change the way people look at therapy and give them a new higher elevated outlet to be able to experience that. And I have been through a lot of those myself, like through therapy to trying pharmaceutical medication, antidepressants and anxiety stuff and Ritalin, to just now to get to where I'm at now to realize I'm just a high spirited, lot of energy being. I'm neurodivergent. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of us are, but then they tell us there's something wrong with us. We have a disease. And that's well before you even get into any traumas or PTSDs. And I've been pretty blessed. I mean, I'm sure I could go off, but I don't think that I have like near as much or as large of some of the traumas and PTSDs that some people have had to deal with on the planet. And my heart goes out for them, honestly. And I commend them. It's like they're warriors. And like that's one of the things that I admire most about people is the amount of shit and the traumatic stuff that people go through and how you're able to come out the other side shining. It's admirable. It's crazy. And if, some people do it on their own, most people have help. I don't know about you, but I've had some amazing people who have had my back that I can call and talk me through and off the ledges and just love me unconditionally and help me the best they can. And that's why I give it so freely. You know what I mean? And again, I haven't been perfect in my past. I've made a lot of fucked up and a lot of stupid decisions, but I have come and grown so far away from those. And that's like what has shaped me into the man, father, human I am today, and why, you know what I mean? And again, I still got work. I struggle with it every day, mental health and the self-doubts and does this all make any sense? And then I get reassured that yes, you got it. You're not back there. Don't look back there. That hurts your neck. Yeah, own it, take accountability, move on from it. But I was destined for great things. And the really, really important thing that is, yes, it's for me, yes, it's for you, but it's more importantly for like my daughters and your kids and their kids to come, because like we have to squash that shit. Like enough is enough, or we're going to keep dragging pasts into our kids' present and ruin their futures. And that's like the honest reality of it. Like we just can't have that. So the goal is to get this figured out at a much sooner rate so that we can hand that off to them, that they're set, so that they don't have to go through, half the traumas or any of the traumas or whatever that we had to, and just set them up for success sooner. Run, take off, chase your dreams, become a musician, become an artist, like be a doctor. You want to go to space, go for it. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is that you want to do, get that, please, and pump them up right. Because like, I'm not sure if you're aware, but like kids are tapped in. Like they are tapped in. And I think it's just like us through life that, life taints us and fades us and we get a little disconnect. I mean, we're pretty lucky. We're pretty blessed that like we're still tuned in and we have a community of people that are pretty open-minded and tuned in. But yeah, kids, like they got it figured out. And I think they got some stuff figured out that like we don't, and they're still pure and innocent and bright. So like let's keep them that. Like for God's sakes, like let's keep them that and help them thrive and flourish. And like it's easy. Let's keep it easy like that for them.
You
Love,
know,
light.
I I always think like, well, their only responsibility is to be a kid and to enjoy each other and to be a sibling or to be a friend. That's their only responsibility. And I'm like, the reality is like, that's really my only responsibility too. I mean, I get that I got to keep the lights on or whatever the standard is in your life. I mean, it looks different for everybody, but like, where along the way did I miss the boat on that? Like, that's the only responsibility that we have, is to actually enjoy what it is, right? And I think for me, it especially as an adult, like it took a little while for me to understand the difference between like intrinsic and extrinsic. I can never say those words properly, but you know what I'm talking about.
Once I had to look that up today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. You said that in a text, and I was like, huh, I am always learning something every day. But like, yeah, to make that the new organic, natural way of being, right? So
yeah. As soon as I figured out that it wasn't about rewarding myself, because I'll reward myself with tea, I'll reward myself with 5 minutes, I'll reward myself with all of these different things, trying to convince myself to get through my day. Whereas my kid is just doing all these things and enjoying the whole process, enjoying the whole journey to everything, to
Not
here,
even
to
thinking
there, to
about it.
whatever. Not even thinking about it.
Just
They're
doing it,
not,
being it.
yeah, yeah. They're not worried about rewarding themselves. Like they're just in that moment. And it took me a while to figure it out. I was just like, oh, the difference between you and I is that I stopped just being rewarding myself with what the task was. So now I feel like I'm on the other side of that, still practicing, always going to be a student. But now that
Me
I
too.
figured that out and kind of mastered that little bit of space, it's like
Hmm.
all of these things, ever these mundane sort of ordinary things have become the therapy, have become the medicine and the enjoyment and the
Give me some.
positivity. Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
girl.
Like seriously. And it's weird because it opened up this whole other thing. Like I was living life in these chunks all the time of like trying to exist. We're trying to exist. And I thought I was really good at existing, actually. Like I'm pretty practiced. But it wasn't until I got to the other side. And like I said, I'm still practicing, but like I'm still learning. But once I got to the
Me
other
too.
side, the amount of flipping time that opened up to enjoy other things was wild. I'm like, this is
Hmm.
what everybody's talking about.
Hmm.
This is what they're talking about. It's
Being
not,
in flow, just being,
yeah,
don't not being a thinker, just being a beer and a doer and just being
yes,
okay with it, letting all those other things go. Love
yeah.
it. Yeah, and I'm with you too. I'm always learning, I'm always growing, I'm always adapting, improving the best I can. And I even relearn a couple few things and tell them like, okay, actually like this sticks. Like I like this way better. Let's keep doing this thing. So yeah. And
Navigating. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I can't see what's actually going on in the Facebook. I see every once in a while a comment pops up there, but yeah, we're always learning, but we're gotten ourselves to these like positions where like we can teach these things down, and not just like our people, but for our kids, and it's just so important. And I mean, my parents tried to do it for me for so many things, and I mean they've lived their life to know what they know, and they've always tried to like guide us best, and they did an amazing job. But it's like until people are like ready for it, if you're ready to feel it, to hear it, to implement it, it's kind of pointless. But like, if people are always chasing that knowledge and chasing the experience and want to grow, then it's just like, here, free knowledge, free power, do with what you want, take the good, take the bad, take the whatever, make your own decisions and way of living with it, but do it, please. You
Do
know
it.
what I mean? It's the only currency we got, our energy, our knowledge, our time. So I just, everybody have it, take it, do what you want with it, make the
Well,
most of it.
and it's interesting because a lot of people think that if they're struggling or in a position that doesn't look like yours, then they're so far away from what you're talking about, right? They're like, well, like that guy's practiced, or that guy, he's already that's his friend circle, or that's his parents must be like that, or whatever. And
My parents still think I'm drinking Kool-Aid. For sure. Actually, they don't think that anymore. They're like kind of on it, but they're like, the army is always hiring. I'm like, I love you so much, but like I'm so good. I'm so good. I just yeah, I got enough of that personally for myself and my brother. My little brother's actually thinking about joining it right now, which I think with what they went through and experience plus what he experienced and what he is, I think it could be good for him for sure. um Go in, get a trade and get out ideally, you know what I mean, like do it that way, and get a trade and get out of the military kind of thing. But all the power to everybody, and I encourage, if you think that's what you want to do and what you need to do, then go and do it. I just, I knew pretty soon that that just wasn't for me,
Mhm.
that I was meant to do something else for myself and my kids in the world. So I just doing that, and I was yeah, I definitely was going about it, maybe not the best way for a while there, but it took some dialing in and some focus and some dedication, a lot of hard work, a lot of going through a lot of shit. Again, I've made some stupid choices and I've had to deal with them. I'm still dealing with them, and that's all you can do is just own it and keep moving on, but don't let it define you. You know what I mean? Like help it shape you into something better, but just don't let it ruin you. Like it's just one big piece of advice I can give to people, because I let a lot of that stuff get the better of me for too long, and like I lived in fear, I lived in doubt, I lived in shame, I lived in guilt, and it doesn't work. It's not what's best for me, it's not what's best for my kids or my family or anybody, you know what I mean? And it's not what the universe wants for us. It wants us to succeed, it wants us to strive, it wants us to be together and unify and rise together. And I think that too is like like a little bit of the test. I believe that we're all getting to our fate or our destiny, but the willpower, you know, the decisions that we make are going to depend like how quick we get there or how far we veer out and come back in. So yeah, it's been an everyday journey, and I don't think I'm a sensei. I'm training to be, you know what I mean, the master messiah, whatever. But I've got so long to go, and I'm eagerly looking forward to it. You know what I mean? But I'm also patient in the same sense. That was one thing that I learned, and I'm still learning because I'm just like so excited for things, you know what I mean? And I've been such a dreamer, but I've been able to break that down to the day-to-day steps, to the weeklies, the dailies, the hourlies, and it's important. It's that groundwork. It's what like those little nibbles that get you towards those big dreams and those big goals, and enjoying that process through the moments is the big one, because I would get so far ahead of myself, and I would reach so big, and then when I wasn't able to hit those goals, I was just like womp womp. And now I'm just like, okay, yes, but like let's just break this down. Let's take one step at a time, keep working hard, keep being consistent. And this is an everyday thing. This just like doesn't go away. It's discipline, and the thing with discipline is it's not always magically there. It's like where it's the most potent is when you're not feeling motivated and when you don't need to do it. That's probably when you need to do it the most, right? So every day, every way.
Every day, every way. Um, that's interesting. There was someone said to me the other day, we were watching the show, and this person was like going through it and you know, saying their testimonial, but it was like really hardcore, and which is fine. Whatever, do your thing. We do it. We get through it, and I'll talk
Mm,
about my own in a second here. But the person looked at me dead in the face, and they said, "Yeah, that sounds really challenging, but what are you doing about it?" And it just hit me when you were talking, and I was just like, man, you're an example of like what you do afterwards. Like, what did you do with it? And you're like, oh, let me tell you what we're doing with this, what we are consistently doing with all of that sadness, that hurt, those poor choices or whatever. Like, you literally are an example of what I strive to be like. Like, you come in positive and all this stuff, but I knowing that this wasn't just obtained, it wasn't bestowed on you, that you have to literally work for this all the time, makes it feel achievable, makes it feel like it's totally doable thing. And no shade to anybody that's ever tried to navigate this world of talking about mental health and being like, um this is the package, purchase this package, and then that's it. But there's a whole other thing to sit here and like be vulnerable and be like, hey, listen, like, it isn't pretty all the time. It is like, I say positive things and I smile because it actually has a biological effect on me that produces, serotonin, and I practice those things. But it's not just that you're walking around here floating from situation to situation, that it isn't always easy. And I really appreciate you saying that, because yeah, it's real life, and you're actually doing it. Like, you're actually doing it in a real way. I had a really tough go for a long time. I thought that life came, whatever it was is what it was always going to be. That once if you struggle, then you're always going to struggle. If you're poor, that's just kind of what it is. And if you're rich, then great, good for you. You get to go on and do big things. And luckily, at a relatively young age, I realized that that's not how the world works. Then I have to take responsibility for myself. And then I proceeded to completely fuck shit up, knowing better. And that's okay. And
yeah, I
then,
feel you there.
but to be able to like grab it by the horns and then find ways for not only yourself, but other people to live comfortably is an astronomically amazing thing to do. And I just think it's really neat that you can do it in a way that seems realistic.
Well, again, it's been everyday work, and I have my highs, and as much as I want life to always be unicorns and rainbows and sunshines, the honest reality is it can't be, and it's kind of like a yin yang thing. You can't have one without the other, nor would you even have the slightest bit of appreciation for what it is, or how would you even know what light and dark is if you didn't have something to compare it to? And the one thing that, and I was pretty good at like expressing my authentic self to like my close people, and now the thing that I'm getting better with is sharing authentically, but like when I'm sad or when I'm not having so good of days, because that's a lot of what a lot of people are going through too. I found like a lot of stuff that is like going online is just like what people want you to see or what people want you to feel, and there's not enough of that like real honest, like here's the nitty gritty that I went through. I had pressing days, I had hard days, like this stuff sucked, but I'm working through it. Or I had people to help me through it, or I listen to music or whatever have you, like actually Love Evolved helped change my life or whatever it ends up being, you know what I mean? But like being honest with that, and especially on the hard days and on the dark days, because it's like almost like an alchemizing of those feelings and of those vibrations, that like through there you can get it to like a more potent higher vibration, right? And essentially that's like what we're all trying to do, and what we've created with Electric Blue and Love Evolved. And we want to build a community of people that want to like help them remember themselves and be the truth and not be afraid to be vulnerable. We want you to be free, we want you to feel included, we want you to be your highest self. And I feel like a lot of the us little communities and like what you guys are doing is just like giving people a space like free of judgment, and and feeling safe and feeling heard and feeling seen. And it's just like it's awesome magic things like this where we come together, we talk about it, we speak authentically about it, and then we maybe line collaborations up in the future. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason I believe, and there's too many coincidences. There's a reason why I'm here again talking to you, and we're destined to do great things. And it's one person at a time, it's one chat at a time, but like slowly we keep building, you know what I mean? And we're heading up and away. So yeah, nothing but love and respect and appreciation for you. So let's keep doing that, and keep lighting the people up, because that's what it's all about, right? And it's okay. It's okay to be you. It's okay to not be okay. If you want to be all of that and up high and vibing high, then do that, sweet. But if you're not, and you need help, or you need an ear, or you just need someone to pump you up with some experiences, like again, I've had so many people do that for me, and that's why I do it for so many people. And it's like that revolving, like let's just keep going up. So
And it's free. My gosh. Like it's so
yeah.
free. Like just, like it's so free. It's so free. And be kind to your neighbors. I'm not always kind to my neighbors. Sometimes when people do dumb shit, I'm like, really, man? Like we live this close to each other and we're gonna do each other like that. Like I'm really vocal like that. And then I have to walk myself through a realistic moment and be like, if I say this out loud outside of my body, then what is going to take place after that? Is this going to be good for the neighborhood? Is this going to be bad for the neighborhood? Is it going to put my kids in an awkward position when it comes to them hanging out with their friends? All of this stuff that goes through my mind. And I've gotten a bit better with it. Obviously, I'm not just out here yelling at people. Like, probation actually really helped me with that. Like, you know what I mean? To keep the peace
No
or
doubt.
whatever.
It's like a double checking. Like, okay, it's not worth it. Inner peace.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, it's just like, what can we do for each other? Like, how can we support each other? Everyone started putting up all these pools around me. And I was just like, oh my God, we gotta buy a pool. We gotta do all this stuff or whatever. And the neighbor was like, no, like send the kids over, and no problem. So I sent the kids over with like a plate of food, right? Okay, we'll take this food as an offering, and it's funny because it's like not that big of a deal, but honestly, if we all just operated like that, even just for 10% of our day or 5% of our day, right? Like just go outside a little bit and share the plate of fries, or laugh with each other, or, bug the kids when they're being, a certain way, because, that one kid in the neighborhood, always be that kid in the neighborhood, right? Whichever. It's like, all of a sudden now it feels like a safe place. And then the conversations that have come from just that have just been amazing. Like
that hearty, real stuff.
Yeah, that exactly.
So
Yeah, totally. And I've just had so much fun. I think the summer kind of naturally brings that the space for that, because in the wintertime we're all trying to be inside. But I guess maybe not. We can still shovel each other's driveways and all of that things. But I just appreciate that piece of spring and summer a lot, because all this, all of a sudden it makes me feel safe in a community. It makes me feel like I can, talk to my neighbors about things. Oh, did so-and-so noticed a weird vehicle or whatever? Oh, okay. Wow, that was just my daughter's new boyfriend or whatever. And as invasive as I feel sometimes, it's like, it's actually safety. It's actually kindness. It's actually support. When you're not living in a negative headspace, it doesn't become, there isn't as much room necessarily for like paranoia and all these other things. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying, like, if you fill that space up with all this goodness, it leaves less room for these other things. And I've really been enjoying my cul-de-sac lately. Like,
totally.
Yeah, Just reaching
That
over the
brings something
fence.
up for me too.
Yeah,
Because
please.
when I was growing up as a kid, we all were connected and in blocks and having barbecues and pool parties and King of the Hills, and grew up with other, it's just like neighbors that we made family friends to, um like we were always doing everything together. We were playing together, camping together, eating together. And I feel like as we've grown up, like, and I've just noticed it in mine, but like the neighborhoods and the communities are not as tight. I mean, there is people out there still doing pretty great things. And I think you're like near Edmonton, I think you said, eh?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's nice to know there's still some like stuff going like that in big cities. And I've definitely noticed out here in BC, there's a lot of that going on. But yeah, that's essentially like what I want to help create a lot more of, and community events, and like, bring them into the family, making them feel a part of it. And like all ages, from the kids to the grannies to everybody. Let's do fun stuff. Let's dance, let's create, let's express, let's eat together, let's work together. I feel like there's a lot of cultures that are doing that together, but I don't feel like us in Canada are doing enough of it.
No.
Like we all kind of locked arms and like used our minds and our resources and our skills and our passions. Like we'd all be thriving a lot better. It wouldn't be so much like, oh, we gotta work and do the dad and mom stuff, and I don't ever get time for myself. Well, if like 1, 2, 10, 20, 100, thousands of people started doing a lot more of that, we would all have a lot more time and freedom to do what we needed to do, and put all that energy back in the kids so they can go become Picassos or whatever it is, whatever they want to do, right? So yeah, a lot more of that. That's definitely something that I'm going to be doing a lot more of in the future. And um also just having events in general. Like I've thrown a few in Cranbrook. One of them was a lot more like community mental health storytelling. We got some local businesses that helped us out with some prizes that were kind of in congruence with what we were doing. It was sweet. It was awesome. It was nice and small. I think there was like 30, 40 people, but it was like hearty. It was on point, and it was like,
Whoa. Holy, I thought the whole internet went down. I bet you just got a phone call for a hot second. I honestly thought like the whole thing, I was like, did I freeze? Hold on 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Talk about frequencies and vibes. That's wild. The feeling of having something pulled from underneath your feet all of a sudden is like shocking. Hi, welcome back.
are you back?
Yeah, are you back? Okay, I can see. Can you hear and see me?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. Are you back? No?
Check, check. You still there? Check, check.
Yeah, check, check.
Oh,
Mic check.
okay. Yeah, I just blacked right out. It was like the spinning wheels. All right. Yeah. So yeah, just having more of those events. Our second event was a lot more music orientated. We flew in Katami and Pinecase. She's awesome. They're awesome. She's on the violin, and it was a lot
Oh,
of
wow.
fun. Some of our homies played as well. Kaimati. So that was pretty cool. And we brought people together to dance and listen to music, have fun. We had all kinds of like local homie artists and vendors, and it was cool. So I definitely, that's a passion of mine that I want to do, and hold some more events, like, and not just here on the island, like coast to coast, and then go down to America. Most of our team is in America. And then we've got one dude, Mitch, he's super cool. He's in New Zealand, and like head over to New Zealand. Like I've been wanting to go there. Apparently they're in competition for being like the nicest people. It's like us and the New Zealanders. But like, I don't know, he's a pretty nice dude. He's pretty rad. He's super cool. He's like a New Zealand god in the flesh, and just so humble and cool. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So yeah, that's one of my plans going forward here. I want to do a lot more of that.
That's really cool. It's awesome. Like all of a sudden the things like, as a parent, I was like stressing like, okay, we gotta get the pool right and like do the thing and keep up and also like it's 35 degrees out. Like we actually need a pool, like do we pack up the kids? We gotta like gas, all these things. Like I'm a human being. And just having that, conversation with friends, all of a sudden now my kids like, 2 days in the pool with hanging out with everybody, took that pressure right out of my mind. Like things can wait until the next payday-ish type of thing. Like it's just amazing. Like just that little bit of support in the community takes the pressure off of things. I had a couple extra bucks in the change jar, sent the kids to the store. The other mom was like trying to kill a couple hours because she was busy doing something. And it's like all that takes is just having those quick conversations to realize like we can all fill in those holes for each other. So I think taking it outside. Yeah,
Let's
right.
get more of that. It takes a village, right?
Mm-hmm.
So And
Yeah,
they deserve it. The
absolutely.
kids need it. And like so do we.
Yeah.
Like as parents, like it's the more like light people and people who love unconditionally or can help teach our kids or help guide our kids in the right direction, the better is the way I see it. And I was pretty blessed to have most of my family in my younger days. And like now we've drifted out apart, but I've got some sweet soul family people and it's still some more people that I want my kids to meet that they will meet for sure that have just already been such a huge part of my life and their life. And yeah, it's so important. It's so
Yeah.
important. It's key.
Totally. Yeah, yeah. And like, how cool is it that all these companies that are popping up that are like love and light forward are all these collaborations from around the world? Because you guys aren't the only ones. I mean, maybe specifically in that, but there are so many cool projects that are happening. Like, shout out to the internet for bringing everybody together in such a massive way where we can like hang out and actually collab and create these spaces and these therapies for people, man. Like, you're hanging out with people in the States and New Zealand to as a like, and you guys all have a collective focus to help people like all from all like yeah, I mean,
Totally. Help, heal, transform, like
yeah,
get people to reset so that they have like a fresh, stable foundation to launch off of. And I believe in my own personal experience, and I'll leave that to everyone else to check out Love Evolve and some of the music that we're putting out. That it is different, it is revolutionary, and we've been able to dial in frequencies that we know work, as well as tap into some frequencies that are newly founded that like again, it's got me feeling and thinking and doing things that not normal music ever has, and just like onwards to my best. And I've listened to some pretty cool musics, and I think that's a big part of why I'm so excited to continue working with these guys and creating new music and getting this out to as many people as possible. It's different, but I encourage people to go out there, Love Evolve music on SoundCloud, check it out. I can send you guys my favorite playlist. I got a favorite playlist, but yeah, just put it on
of
shuffle,
course.
find one that you're vibing with, just let it go, check it out 2 or 3 times, and I guarantee you, kind of outside feeling different or something. It's weird, it's magical, it's awesome. So
Do you have a favorite like frequency, like one that you rely on a lot? I know that there's certain frequencies that go with certain things, but is there one that like you kind of gravitate towards the most that you kind of go back to more than the other ones?
yeah, it came right to me right away. It's love for sure. And I've read that it's the one that travels the furthest. I think it's 432 and 528.
Hmm.
So that's my go-to. I know there's different ones, but it kind of it varies for me, and depending on the mood or what I need. And I know that they're also tuned to your chakras in your body, depending on where you're at or what you need to activate. But they all need to kind of be in balance. But for me, it's been love, it's been light, and I think the light one's up here. And I have to check into the numbers like to get specific, but yeah,
Okay.
it's the love one for me for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Mhm.
I'll definitely get my fave playlist out for you guys. I'll send that out on the comments on Facebook there.
Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah, Calico and I have been talking about the different frequencies a lot lately because we're like, okay, like we gotta break into this space and at least like know some of them off heart. And I was like, yeah, totally. Like we'll just kind of get the basic ones and we'll start talking about them. And then I like started YouTubing around down the rabbit hole, and I was like, whoa, okay, wait a second. Like, wait. Because there's actually like a few more than I thought. I thought it would be like, healing, love, let's probably go off the senses, sad, angry, whatever, a couple, like a handful. But it's really interesting that like each different frequency works for like so many different things. And yeah, I find it just
Well,
fascinating,
it's
absolutely
helping with
fascinating.
stuff in the body. It's helping with stuff in the mind, and we've actually gotten it to a point. And there's other people working frequencies from healing beds and stuff like that. But like to dial it into like specifics to like from your heart to certain illnesses and diseases, they're starting to kind of treat that with to what I mean, disorders in your brain that we're starting to work with, and we're starting to like tweak that. And not only that, like fine tune it to like blast it right into your brain or right into your ears to like really get the full effect of it. Like yeah, it blows my mind, and I've always like loved it, and I've always been so passionate about it, and that's why I'm so eager to continue doing a lot more of it and get what we're getting out to the world, because it's huge, it's so huge, it's so important, it's so critical, and it's something we can all relate to, right? It's something that brings us joy And yeah, I'm definitely I know a little bit of the frequencies and stuff like that and what they're tuned to, but definitely, got to do a little bit more research. But it's huge. Have you seen the thing like where a buddy's like growing a plant and he's talking to it like,
Yeah.
we're putting out frequencies, how
Mhm.
we're talking, how we're being, like how the plants decided to grow, or he does it to the water and freezes it, and
Yeah.
how, the ice decides to freeze, and like
Yeah.
that's
The
us.
snowflake
You know what I
experience.
mean? What we're putting
Yeah.
into our body, like what we're deciding to listen to, what we're eating is the same thing as what we're putting out, what we're speaking into existence. So it's got to be careful with that stuff. Like be mindful of it. You know what I mean? It's powerful stuff. It is very powerful stuff. And like we're in an awakening era now where it's just like a lot of people are self-aware and conscious of those things, and keep surrounding yourself with people like that. It's easily reciprocated and mirrored, and yeah, forever charging up. So
Yeah,
I
we
see.
actually oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, I see Kendra there. The girls are putting some links in the chat there, and yeah, it's cool. It's definitely changing, transforming, and elevating, and we're only getting better at it. So,
So awesome. We actually talked
mhm.
about it in psychology class. My instructor brought it up, and she was just like, there's all these disorders, and we were like talking about them, and then we were talking about like the different frequencies that they're using for therapy for certain disorders, and I felt honored almost that I was like, oh my gosh, like we've been having these conversations, and all of these amazing people in my life that have been having these conversations, and then to see it in like this professional, you know, way, I was just like, oh my gosh, okay, yes, people are having this conversation. This is a part of the education system. It's not like so out there that it's, people are disregarding it or something. And the way that she talked about it was so interesting because it wasn't even just like about disorders, but it was also about disease and health, unhealthy lifestyle, and stress are like the leading cause of disease. And so when you want to break that kind of back upwards into like mental health, if you're stressed and have poor hygiene and poor quality of life and all these things, and then that directly reflects to disease and so on and so forth. I was just like, wait a second, like it's actually bigger once you add in the rest of the conversation. Like, yeah, it's important to listen to certain music or have certain frequencies played amongst us. That's why concerts feel so good and all this stuff. But then to think that it actually changes our mood, which in turn takes away our stress, which then contributes to a less like disease ridden life. And I mean that in like the most serious way. Like when you think about
Oh yeah, no,
like
I believe you. I'm all in on that for
yeah,
sure.
right. It's just like that's wild. I mean, the lymphatic system obviously being like the most obvious one because it's like something that you can physically feel being kind of shaken back into life when it comes to like frequencies and things like that. But it doesn't begin and end there. So yeah, you guys are. It's amazing. I hate being boastful when people come on here because I try to just get like the nit and grit out of things and like have a conversation and move on. But it's really hard not to be boastful when we have guests that are just super amazing and that are involved in projects that are actually making a difference. Not to, I already
Well,
can.
back at you, girl.
Yeah,
Shit.
like it's just yeah,
No, boast away for sure.
yeah,
I'll keep tooting you up, and that's how it keeps
right,
growing and blooming,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
I just love it. And I love that you had me back on because again, it's something that I'm so passionate about. That obviously you're passionate about. Our whole team's passionate about, and
yeah.
I'm really excited. Like you guys, stay tuned because we're getting ready to roll out some pretty big things, and it's gonna change the world. I believe honestly, and we're gonna blast that out to the whole world. We've been working so hard. I'm so proud of everybody, and it's a huge game changer. Huge game changer. We're gonna be hitting it from a few different avenues, but yeah, super excited. It's awesome. Music is like one of those things next to the people in the family that we have that it can just take you away from everything. It can uplift you. And like I'm often throw on my headphones, throw on the Love Evolve or whatever my favorite track and just disappear, just go in another world or maxing out my speakers. Or like when I'm really lucky, it's like next to some like PKs where I can like feel the bass. I'm like, ah, it's great. The bass therapy. I love it.
Yeah, like shakes the snot right back down your throat or something. I don't know. There's such a tangible feeling that comes along with that. It's like, yeah,
Oh, I love it. I can't
yeah,
wait to be blasting our music all over like some big speakers. Like, like make sure you got your proper high fidelity earphones in because yeah, our hearing's important. Something I kind of took for granted, but I wear them often now and like thankfully I haven't like lost all my hearing. But yeah, So
Yeah.
good.
Well, and I think where Love Evolve comes in, where you're opening that door a little bit because frequency, healing outside of like, baths maybe, like has kind of always been like a festival thing, like or a concert thing. Like we're like, well, we know we feel good. We know that this is doing something, and then when it comes to Reiki, like that's another piece of it where people are really focused specifically on what they're trying to heal. But when you have music that's like Love Evolve that's coming from you guys, it really opens the door for everybody to experience it. And it not just being this like, well, I don't listen to techno, so I don't know what you're talking about. I don't listen to like, bass forward rap, so I don't know. Like it's very it's for the people, which I think is really important to highlight. Like it's not specific to
Totally.
like one particular genre or one particular type of person, man. Like this is very like
Totally.
universal. It's very
Well,
universal.
I feel like we're essentially like building a door wide
Mhm.
open for this is like for everybody. You know what I mean? And not only for everybody, find your little niche and what you kind of gravitate towards sounds, but we're forever changing and adapting, and we're all kind of starting to make music more and find our own kind of sounds and vibrations, and then running that through Marcy so she can do her process and layer through what she's got to. And yeah, again, I'm blessed to be working with her and such like cool rad cats, and it's like yeah, we're only getting better, and we only want to get involved with more people and get this to the hands and the minds and the souls that need it. Let's work together, let's keep shining together, keep collaborating together, and keep spreading that along, because again, like you said, we can go from talking to like 10, 20 people, then now we can reach hundreds of millions of billions of people like that. You know what I mean? And the power to the people. Let's put the power back in the people. Like we're the power, we're the energy. And the sooner that we all get that and start working together more, the better. And we are. I got to give us some credit, but it's just
Yeah.
like, I know where we can get to and where we're working towards. So I guess let's just keep it up.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like maintaining is some of the most challenging things that you can do, right? But if you can just maintain what's already happening, like it has no choice. You eventually get bored of what it is, and then you got to add more things to the pie. That's the thing, right? If you just keep with the consistency and maintaining this, it's like, yeah, man. As soon as you lose that, then you're behind because then you got to start putting the pieces back together just to get to that space. But yeah,
Totally. I agree.
yeah.
100%.
Wow. Oh, thank you. Just all that stuff. What are the kids doing these days? When it comes to children and therapy and trying to stop this flipping chain from happening, or like we got to break the generational trauma cycle with like all of this stuff, because I mean people, we've gone through some things, we've put each other through some things, like life is serious and I'm not taking any of that for granted, but the kids are, if we can hand them this gift, this perfectly wrapped gift that makes sense to them, humanity has a chance to survive. I really want my kids to live in a space that's comfortable for them. That's why I do Pinecase, because I was like, we're
Me
going to
too.
open the door, we're going to create a space. I don't really give a shit what people think about me because that's their business. But it was a really challenging space for me to be in because I struggled with mental health issues. I struggled with all sorts of things, actually. I tend not to put a ton of label on the things that I went through because I don't lead with it every day. I know a lot of people that are in recovery. They talk about their DOC a lot. They talk about they're in recovery. They have a certain amount of days sober. Respect to everybody that does that. I don't. But I know that it was a really challenging place and space to talk about mental health, especially when it comes to kids. I don't give a shit. The goal is to create a safe and open door policy for my kids to never have to feel like they have to sit down, shut up, and deal with it.
Yeah, I'm with you there, and
You
I
know?
feel you, and it's so important. And again, I've got some serious stepping as a human, as a dad, to continue doing. I've done a lot of stepping, but like I'm definitely not giving up. I'm definitely not going back, and
Nope.
I need to continue striving and lighting and igniting for them, and showing up for them extra, and just showing them like what's possible, the do's and don'ts, and just again, like you said, providing them that space where they can be safe, where they can be free, where they don't have to deal with any of my past shit or any of anyone's past shit. They shouldn't have to. They should just have a space where they can express themselves, and they don't have a worry in the world. Like Hakuna Matata is all the way. Like, what do you want to do next? And keep that little smile and innocence on their face like forever. Keep that light strong. And it's so important, not just for me, for you. You get it. All the parents get it. And I think the sooner that everybody can just squash the shit, leave it back there, move on, work together and keep working together. And I know in my own life too, and it sounds like what you've been through too,
Yeah.
like we've been making miles, we've been making great
Hmm.
progress, and it's important that needs to stay consistent too. And we need to keep showing up, and just everything else that doesn't work or serve our kids' highest selves or our highest selves, see ya.
Gone. Yeah.
Like, gone. See you later. And everybody else can have whatever opinions or whatever say they have. Most of the time, people
Over
don't
there.
even know the fucking truth. And that's what
Yeah.
bugs me. And like you said, people can have all these opinions and perspectives, and they have no fucking idea what it actually is or what's actually happened. And it goes through the grapevine, this, that, and thing. And by the time it comes back around, it's so fucking ludicrous. It blows my mind.
Yep.
So, I mean, we spoke about it a little bit before the show, but I won't keep living my life based off of everybody else's experience and their thoughts and their doubts and their opinions that, again, aren't even fucking true. Sure, there may be some truth to it, but I'm not living my life, and I'm not going to let that affect my kid's life anymore. And we can't do that. Like, honestly, all I can say is just mind your own. You know what I mean? Like, do your own thing. Focus on you, focus on your kids or whatever it is, have you. And like, I'll do my thing and keep fucking doing what's best for my kids and go from there, because anything else is just trying to get in the way. And I just don't need it. They don't need it. Nobody needs it. Just keep it to yourself. You know what I mean? And that's
Yes.
like as
Yes.
nicely and as lightly as I can put it. And again, that was something I kind of like buried down my stuff and my truth for a while there, but it's so important to like get it out and get it
Yes.
out there, because there's so many people that are behind the scenes just never. It's like, honestly, inner peace, inner peace. So yeah.
There is first of all, this is exactly the type of people and businesses that I want to attach myself to. So thank you for being all of those things. Shout out to your team. You guys are amazing. Two, there is hundreds of thousands of people in recovery that struggle with titles over their head, 2%, all this stuff, and they can put them there and they can glorify them and they can celebrate them, and that's fine. But the biggest, part of when it comes to staying in a healthy mindset. Now, when I say recovery, I don't mean drugs. I mean recovering from whatever the fuck it was that fucked them up in the first place. That can look like a lot of different things. But the biggest part of it is the stigma that gets attached to it. And all of these people have this fucking huge suitcase that they're towing along with them, which is everybody's opinion on what they're supposed to be doing and what it's supposed to look like. And well, they can't do those things because they gave up their rights. I mean, the amount of times that people have asked me, like, because I had a second child, like, later on, and they were like, oh yeah, yeah, that old story, right? Like the fixer behavior. Maybe she'll raise this one. Like, pardon? Like, I'm sorry, I got both my babies. Like, yeah, like my baby.
Things keep twitching.
Right. Like, Kate, my kids know exactly where the fuck I am, like all the time. So don't you worry about that. But I think it's really important to bring it up because people, especially in the comment section, they are all living with the same things that we're living with. And a lot of them don't have the opportunity or the platform to speak up about it. And I know that a lot of people close the doors and they stress out at night and they contemplating, relapse or suicide or things because they're like, I can't talk about the pressures that I'm going through. I'm not allowed to succeed because people come at me even more. I can't post, pictures of my kids without people tearing me up. I'm actually I don't post a lot about my kids because first of all, it's a business page, but second of all, because it took me a long time to want to put myself in a place to be that vulnerable. And it's just a conversation that has come up time and time again. And since you guys, you're such a positive person, like I really appreciate you navigating that with me and being so fucking human about it because man, does that shit grind my gears. And it's just been on my nerves lately so much. I'm like, you are beautiful. You're a human being. We're fucking in this together. We're going to get through this shit. Like, stop letting these people with nothing better to do than fucking bring you back down. Like, we don't have space for that. We don't have space for that. There's not enough space. Fill it with all this beautifulness and move the fuck on. They don't deserve that energy. And I'm just like, man, if I can create the conversation to be able to tell everybody that like this is how you do it, this is how you move past this stuff, and it's not easy, but you really got to tell people to shut the fuck up, or you don't even have to tell them. like you're allowed to say that. And you know what, you can even take it a step further by not saying fucking anything, because that really is like, I'm in that space in my life where I actually don't acknowledge any of it. I'm just like, I don't know, man, sorry.
Yeah, I've gone with both, and
I've
I've spoken up, and I've also just like like you said, it's not worth the time and energy. And then again, I've also have so many amazing people in my life that know me as a human, that know me as a dad,
Mhm.
and that like again get me. And anybody with half a fucking brain is like, okay, no, this guy's on it, he's got it. Or even if he fucked up, like he owns it, he's got it. You know what I mean? Then it's just like that's why I do that for people. And I usually give people more than just one benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? People are forever changing and adopting. I'm just saying there is, maybe shittier people out there, but I don't gravitate towards that. I put out the positivity and the love and the unison and light. Yes, the darkness is still there. And yes, you got to protect, and especially extra so. I got like two daughters running around. It's just like, yeah, it's so important, and it's energy goes where energy flows. But yeah, you said it huge, and it's funny. I thought about Moana there when he's going like the Chihu thing. Have you seen the new Moana? Like that just kind of just came to mind. So
Yeah.
fuck, you're a badass dude. Honestly, just like love you, thank you, bless you, and yeah, you're just such a strong, authentic fucking powerhouse. And I just
Thank you.
like, yeah, I'm definitely just honored to be here, and definitely looking forward to some more. And I know we're kind of chatting about a couple few things here, so I'm excited to see where that goes and all the things. So
All
yeah.
the fucking things, man. Yeah, all the things. Yeah. Oh, it's so exciting. Listen, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna thank everybody for being here, but you bring me such flippin' joy. I look forward to hanging out with you so much, and I know, like, listen, we're gonna pump. I'm getting better at pumping people up because I'm like, oh, I don't want to like be that
No, you're
person.
doing great. You got me like all
I
red.
I absolutely adore you. I
Go
adore
back
you
at
that
you.
yeah, I adore you that you like and you're an ally in this big world against stigma. You have all these amazing things that you're implementing into life. You make it palatable and easy for us to understand. It feels inclusive. I don't feel like I'm getting left behind. Like I don't know what the hell frequency is. Like, no, it's not that crazy. Just come to this playlist. We're going to start over here, real easy, real peasy, no problem. And so, yeah, the approach is really warming and welcoming. And I appreciate that. I thank you so much to your team for, sharing you with us tonight. I appreciate you
Yeah,
guys.
no,
Yeah.
amen. I was stoked for it. Like when Calico was like, "You want to be on again?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." And yeah, honestly, I'm again. I think I mentioned it before, but I'm just like fanboying over you hard. Yeah, I think you're so cool, and just keep up doing what you're doing. Super proud of you and who you are and what you're building up. And the other thing I want to leave people with is, it's again, it's okay to not be okay. And if you need an ear, you need a voice, you need to chat, you need to groove and move or whatever it is, like reach out to me, please. I promise you, I'll try my best. And if not me, obviously you or maybe someone
Yes.
on the team, and we'll work through it. We'll rise through it, whatever that looks like. It may be a little massaging to get there, but like again, it's one of my big purposes of why I'm here is to try to help, to try to heal. And I promise you, I'll give it my best shot. You know what I mean? And I'll try to bring the good vibes and the smiles, and everything else can just fizzle away. So
Yeah, you can absolutely. We have Pinecase Warm Line for everybody. It's 250-289-3948. It is text available if you're not comfortable chatting on the phone. We wanted to make sure that feature that you guys are well aware of. So it's 250-289-3948. Text us your name, your location. Give us you don't even have to say too much. You can say everything. It doesn't really matter. We're going to look up the resources in your community, and we're going to make sure it ends up in the text conversation. If you want to give us a call, please do that as well. Again, it's 250-289-3948. Hashtag 988 is the national number. The states is still, I don't want to confuse the information. Hashtag 988 is still the number. For both Canada and the US. I know there was some discrepancy for everybody. We got a ton of emails about it, but the suicide prevention line is hashtag 988. You guys go ahead and use that as well. I did call it. We checked it out. We went through the things. They're trained professionals. They know what they're doing, and I feel very confident sending you over there. Calico, thank you so much for putting it in the comments. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We've seen all the beautiful comments. There were so many hearts and like loves and X's and O's. I don't think I've ever seen the comment section look so colorful and lovely. And thank you guys for supporting each other in the comment section. I see the conversations going amongst yourselves. That is literally what it's all about. If we can create a little bit of a space where you guys can all come together and support each other, then I feel like we can check that off of our list of things to do.
yeah, love you guys, bless you guys. I'm going to come back around, check with the comments section, and again, check us out, Love Evolve, on all streaming platforms. That's SoundCloud, Spotify, and Electric Blue Communications on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. give us a shot, try it out, please. I encourage you. Go shuffle on the playlist, put on your headphones, and just bop away. Let it take you away. And I promise it'll do some magic things. And yeah, just thank you all. Thanks for having me again. Bless you. Lots of love.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I'm going to throw the logo up real quick. So that way, when you guys go to look for the playlist, you know exactly what you're looking for. Great logo, by the way.
Sweet. Yeah, that's all Marcy for sure.
Yeah.
She's pro designer.
Yeah, it's beautiful. If you guys are searching around for it, there you go. I could sit here and say goodbye to you all day.
Yeah, I get it. We'll have to pencil some sidebar combos and catch up, make this like a pretty frequent thing when we're not on here. But for sure, like I said, I know we're kind of working on some things. I'm looking forward to seeing where those things go. So
yeah, absolutely.
We'll be seeing more of us for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We'll need to get like the B-roll films for the reels and stuff like that. It's so funny. Yeah. All right, you guys.
Okay, give me one more, girl. You rock. You're a superstar.
Yeah. All right, you guys take care of each other. Stay safe, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
We stay strong.
The further you take my rights away, I'ma run to it, refuse to hear my voice. Speak loud when I spit it, but you don't get it. You just wanna be a side critic. See somebody else showing hate in the side of the road with it. Now how would you feel standing on the sideline and watch the color of a nation deteriorate over time? The flag real high, but compassion 6 feet below. Now you're searching for that justice that decided to never show. Deny my place, I'm back with a trace. Keep up the pace, tight lace, game face. Get back in the race. Whatever they did could never be undone. Every dark night ends with the rising of the sun. Squandered every wealth that's built from the mud. Squandered every wealth that's built from the blood. Squandered every wealth that's built in chains. Stolen from the ancestors running through my veins.
With the strength of 1,000 lion and the strength of 1,000 giant, we stay strong. We stay strong. With the strength of 1,000 elephant and the strength of 1,000 tiger, we stay strong. We stay strong. We stay strong.
I can see, run to the light at the end of the tunnel winner.
We stay strong.
I can't breathe. We're gonna get oxygen without the justice system.
We stay strong.
And I know, gotta keep my head together.
We stay strong.
Don't doubt me, please don't doubt me.
We stay strong.
Tell me how can we be strong if we still shooting? Tell me how can we be strong if we still looting? Tell me how can we be strong if we still hating? Please tell me now, please.